there or something like that. Like he tried to get together with her, but they had a conversation behind my back that I wasn't aware of. So I was just like, okay. Ever since then, like my dad just been an op for like he on some op shit. Like he had told me recently that my ex girlfriend showed him her panties or some other stuff. But long story short, she went behind my back and she told me she acted like she checked him or something. But I was like, you didn't even run to tell me that you talked to him. So I was like, clearly you was trying to get with him or some other shit. Cause I think this was around the time that she told me that she was prostituting. Like I tried to really clear my energy of her. I'm looking at my crystal now. I had to clear my energy of her, but it was just a weird ass situation because like she's like telling me all this different stuff. I had these crazy experiences. Like I really have odd experiences. Like somebody's an empath has told me before, like having an organ, I'm gonna attract strange, like my organs attracting strange experiences. Like I had to experience, but long story short, me and her are friends because what happened with her talking to people, like there were other people, like she was thinking that somebody was on the other side of her phone talking to her and stuff like that, and it had me scared, so I stopped talking to her. But I had another situation, and basically this is when I first started creating an organ. I swear to God, I was at school when I created it. This is my big pyramid, and this was I had a secret formula back then, and that was working for me. Like I used Egyptian symbolism when I was creating, so it's like just as deep as the pyramids of Giza, like the exact same stuff like the pharaohs were creating with and stuff. And so basically, it was crazy because like it was a helicopter. Like this was like right after I created it. There was a helicopter that flew outside of my dorm window. I was like, I promise you, there was a helicopter, and it flew down in front of my dorm window. I said, what the fuck? So I told my roommate, I said, look at that. Like, he's like, what? I said, look at that helicopter. We're both shook. And I didn't even like that roommate though. It's a long story, but I didn't like the roommate, and it's because he kept inviting people over, or like he wouldn't leave the room. Like I just needed some me time. Yeah, it's just something that I needed. Like I needed myself complete. I needed myself completely. Okay. And with that, we'll get to the reading. Crazy ass experiences. I just like, what's going on? I was so scared. So I hit up the organ alchemist and I asked her, I was like, is this strange? Like, I'm like, is it normal to. But she told me what I was already saying. She told me that it was strange and that the organ did that. But I was telling her I just created. That's why I had hit her up recently about it because I wanted to get a reading from her. And so I was telling her, I was like, this is a crazy story, but I had asked her, I was like, is it strange to, like, she took my word, but she basically rephrased what I said, but I was like, is it normal, I asked her, is it normal to see helicopters flying around you after you're creating? And she's like telling me like all this different stuff, and she's telling me like, you and your goddess, you guys are gonna, your goddess is beautiful, you're handsome. She said I have a handsome in my energy or something, and she's like, your goddess is very beautiful. But then she's like, this is with my twin flame. We don't talk no more, right? We're done talking no more. We're in separation for good. But then she's like telling me like, I'm talking about the female, right? The female twin flame. Like we're done talking for good. But I'm just sitting here and I was just like, if I that she knows that there are people hitting me up, I guess another twin flame of mine. That's what I believe. It's crazy. I really had some deep ass relationships, but this is like the first relationship I was ever in. He was hitting me up, and I just tried not to deal with that. It was just too toxic energy. But she's like telling me all this different stuff about, basically she had told me to stop arguing. She's like, don't even argue with people. They don't believe that you are who you say you are. Just leave them alone. So I said, okay, well, they dedicated to misunderstanding me. Because I already knew, creating that altar, people wasn't about to be fucking with me. Like, they was on that Christian Jesus juice stuff. I watched this video on YouTube. And she was basically talking about Christians be on that Jesus juice. And ever since then, I was like, yo, they be on that Jesus juice. Like, they really be deeply mad at other people for no reason, for just being different. Like, let you be some type of bi or queer folk, you're gonna be targeted, and they're gonna like since they're gonna be talking about you in front of your face, or even better, they're gonna talk about you behind your back, and then share the conversations with you in the flesh. Like they'll share the conversations online or with their friends, or contact like, oh, Dad, I'm going to do something. Jay, just XYZ or something. You know, that's how my mom be. But yeah, they talk about you. You know your family's gonna talk about you, cause they think that that's caring for you, like putting you back on the track, showing you how the world's gonna be about it. And that's true. Like the world is gonna talk about you, but it's like coming from your family. That's why it's so hurtful. Like, you know, when you're looking for just support emotionally, but you have to do it all alone, and you got an enemy like beefing with your mom and your dad or your family or both or all of them because you didn't ever tell them. And I mean, to me, like coming out, I didn't even come out. I just told them straight up, like, you know, I've dealt with men before, other genders before. I ain't about to come out to y'all, but I said I dealt with other genders, but it's like they always left me. I was like I'm not with them. Like I'm with the female right now, but and this is at that time. But I was like, you know, they always left me. It was like really odd, and I was just connecting with what that meant, I guess. Like, it's like, I was just like, shit, I guess they ain't shit. Like, I keep attracting something to heal with my father, and it was just an art experience. And I was like really wondering, like, okay, well, what's gonna happen from here on out? Like, what am I gonna do from here on out? Now that I'm willing to tell my mom, because I was like, I'm not about to sit here and hide this from you that I've chosen to be with. Like, I was vicarious, or I got to a point where I knew that I was like, you know, queer. But I was like vicarious at one point in time. Like, I just was curious, like, let me see what this feels like. But I ended up getting traumatized from that. But that's how I just say, you know, that's what happens with black families. Like, I have a black family. Like, my family members are black. And it's like, cause my dad, I know he mixed, but he got like, he's like really light skinned, so I was like, yeah, he European, so I'm like chocolate brown, like milk chocolate. But long story short, I feel like my family members are just really ghetto as fuck. Like, they be partying, having kickbacks, and they don't call them kickbacks, but they just call them parties. But 4th of July, every 4th of July, like, even had my aunt at the funerals was partying. She said when her mom died, my grandma had lost her leg, and so she had to live with my aunt. And she was like, you know, my mama. I said, I ain't never going to another funeral again. Y'all is acting up in here. I said, y'all, why is y'all acting like this? Because I had went on a break from the ancestors. It was just too much that I had, like, my life was just changing so quickly with that altar and stuff like that. Like, I had really started having experiences, and that energy was just grounded into my life. And so, especially working with the organ and stuff, like, I wasn't aware of it because I was working so much. I only put that money into Walmart. I only put that time into Walmart, and it was just an exchange. Like, I left Walmart, but it was just something like it was hard for me to really do that because that was my life. Like, my family forced me to work. Like, they refused to support me otherwise. And I'm just talking about, like, with food and stuff. Like, I had to buy my own food, and I still had to, like, work for them. Like, they made me work for them, like cut the grass or do chores. Like, I was like the maid, but then I cut the grass. Like, I full-time maid, and then also, like, they had me pick up my sister. Like, I had a sister, I had to drive her around wherever she wanted to go. It was crazy, and I was just sitting here like, bruh, like, what's going on? Like, for some reason, they didn't want her riding the bus. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I was like, y'all forced me to ride the bus until I, like, when I was 16, I was riding the bus. I was like, why can't she ride the bus? like the car is breaking down and stuff like that. And there was nobody else to really take her to her practices and stuff. Like she played volleyball, basketball. She ended up quitting that stuff. Like my sister was so bad, but they treated her as if she didn't do anything. And I had my outbursts and stuff like that. But I mean, she was just always in trouble. Like I was like, she's the worst in the family. Like she didn't care. Like one thing about her, she was gonna do what she wanted to do. And it's just like, okay, you have a couple times that you do what you want to do. Like everybody has that phase where they're like lashing out because they never out to do anything ever. But then that's like, you know, religious families and stuff like that, they don't let you do. They like raise you to not be geared towards being social. So when that actually starts to activate, you know, when your root chakra starts to activate, you begin to start activating in your lifetime, and you start, you know, connecting with other people that are willing to show you, like, the truth is that you should be knowing what you want to do 24/7. When it's safe, though, like, my sister was out here, like, she ended up getting pregnant at 16, and it's like, it had been, like, ever since then, it was, like, just weird. Anyways, that's my family, that's my little family story. And she ended up, they said she lost the baby, but my mom wouldn't let her get an abortion. And basically, she was like shaming her for that experience. It was crazy. Like, she was talking, my mom was talking shit and stuff. Like, well, you shouldn't have got pregnant. Like, she was acting so shocked. I'm like, why is she shocked that she got pregnant, but she was getting caught with dudes in the room and stuff? I'm like, I was in shock. I was just shocked that my mom was acting like, I was like, what the fuck happened? She acted like she died. She had come like, Joya had something to tell you, or, you know, she acted like she was a ghost or something, like she was dead to her. I was just like, well, you should have punished her more. No, it was nothing that my mom could have did except accepted her. Just let her be bad, shit. There's something else that you could have did. But anyway, so, you know, in my life, just always connected with who I am. So after all that stuff happened, it was just like, it was just too much on my emotions. And then you try to treat me like I've been bad all this time. Like, she, you know, after all this stuff was happening and stuff, my mom was sitting here treating me like I've been up in the streets. Like, she still treat me like that to this day. Like, she's like, was you smoking in high school and this and that? And I'm telling her, like, no, like, I didn't smoke in high school. You was with a grown man? No, I wasn't with no grown man. You was sneaking around. You was out there partying. No, I wasn't out there partying. Like, what are you talking about? And this is me as a grown man. Like, she still thinks to this day that I betrayed her somehow. Like, even if I were to do that, we could work it out and actually have the conversations. Like, she treat me as if I'm on punishment for life. So because of that, I just, hold on, wait, it's a plane outside. Because of that, me and her don't talk. Like, because of that, we just not in a good relationship. And it's like something that I really want to honor. Like, I want to still honor her life, or honor who she is, honor her, honor what she's given to me and stuff. But it's just so hard because it's like she don't talk to me about nothing. Like, they don't open up to me at all. Like, they really have trust issues with other people. I guess I don't know what it is. It's like they stopped opening up to people and stuff. They used to be posting a lot, but like, they're not posting. Ever since I've reached back out to them, because like they was posting it up before when we weren't talking and stuff. But I had ended up, I said, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out. So I reached back out to them. That didn't work. It's crazy. I had gained like all this weight, and it was just crazy. It's this long story, but basically they thought that I had schizophrenia, and that was something that was really hard for me to explain. Like, I'm like, I don't think it's schizophrenia. I think that y'all don't talk to me at all. Like, nobody even tried to talk to me about the spirits that were in my space. I'm like, I'm talking to spirits, and I was just depressed. But then it's like ended up being PTSD that ended up having that I healed myself from.